What's growing? Andrew, Fairweather Farmer. Today we're talking about growing peppers. And so, first thing you want to do is check out your seed pack. It's going to say the type of peppers, the variety, how many seeds in the pack, the germ percentage, test date, lot number. But what you want in the back is the depth. Here it's talking about quarter-inch depth. I usually do about a half-inch depth, I would say, by eye. Going a little bit deeper, you avoid the water moving the cell on the flat and displacing it. And then, as well, what's important is going to be the soil temp. Here it's talking about 27 to 32 degrees. Now, this Pantera variety is actually a jalapeno, it's a hot pepper. But if I look over here at my sweet peppers, the soil temperature is the same. So, somewhere around 27 to 32 degrees. The way that we achieve that is with these heat mats that are on a thermostat. There's just a little probe that goes into the soil, measures the soil temp, and then it heats from below. So the heat rises up directly under the soil. That helps to keep the soil more consistently, especially at night, the correct temperature to get your germination. Apart from that, when you go to seed it, you just go one cell at a time. You just want to open your little seeding tool to the correct hole size. That was just the fan of the greenhouse coming on because it's a little cold out here. And once you've got one seed per hole, if you get a few extra, you can just spread them out into the adjacent slots. And then you can just gently press your seed into the soil. And what you're going to do is you're going to come and cover it after and maybe backfill with a little bit of soil. And then you're going to want to write some kind of a tag that indicates the type of crop, the variety, the date seeded, and by whom. That way you can keep track of your crops. And if you water every day, making sure that it doesn't dry out and that it doesn't get too wet, keep the right temperature. Theoretically, within about 5 to 7 or so days, give or take, you should start to see some little pepper sprouts. And you want to try and time your seeding so that the plants are at your final desired size. So for us, it's like a 4-inch pot, but you could aim for like a 50 cell. We start in the 50 cell and then pot up later on, but that it's ready, it's been to the correct stage and maybe potted up if necessary for the date that you want to be planting, which would be definitely past your last frost date. But for peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, you want to keep your soil temp up and you want to keep it ideally above 10 degrees outside at all times. And if it goes below 10 degrees, even for one night, it can affect the production of the fruits over the long-term life of the plant. So just something to consider, but as long as it's not going to freeze and there's some kind of like a protection, whether it's a greenhouse or a tunnel, theoretically the plants are not going to necessarily die, but they will not thrive. So we're going to hopefully get these planted outside in the fields on raised beds with some black plastic mulch to add some heat sometime around July, but maybe depending on the weather, we might get them out earlier. So go get growing some peppers.